Hello, everyone. One of my friends recommended I would do a top 10 or a top 5 movies of the year. And with that said and done, here is the first category, which is honorable mentions. And those are Megan 2.0. I know everyone was not on board with Megan 2.0 because it was more like an action movie and less of Megan, where it was a PG-13 horror. The next one is Snow White. I know everyone hated this movie, but for me, in general, it was alright. And the worst movie of all the Disney live action movies that I absolutely hated was The Little Mermaid because of one of the cast members that was Ariel. The next movie is Lilo and Stitch. I know there would be half of you that would really like this movie, and there would be another half of you that would say it is too much of the original movie. That is why I absolutely love Disney movies in general, is to stick to the actual story of the cartoon counterpart. And the last one is Until Dawn. I know there are a lot of you that are disappointed in this movie. But the one thing I did mention in my review that they could have gone in a different route where they could have made a movie for the prequel game. And you guys know what game I am talking about. And the next one is actually the main game with like Sam, Mike, Emily. They could do those make those two movies so that it would be a lot better of what we have gotten this year for Until Dawn. And with that said and done, here is my top 10 movies of the year. At number 10 is Happy Gilmore. I loved the first movie of Happy Gilmore, and it is beloved of the fans of the movie. The one I am talking about is Happy Gilmore 2. There are some really funny scenes throughout the movie, and I know there are some of you that would say it does not deserve a second movie. At number 9 is Ballerina. I really liked Ballerina because it is in the universe of John Wick. And that is one of my favorite action movies. That I really loved the movies of John Wick. Even though I didn't start watching it until later on. At number 8, the live action How to Train Your Dragon. I really loved the live action treatment for this movie, and also I went to see this movie in the 4DX, which makes it that more, much more experience. I really loved that. And my dad hated it because the tears moved and it hurt his back. I just wanted to put that out there. So he would not go for another 4DX movie. At number 7 is Fantastic Four First Steps. This is a good movie, and it does take in Morgan Freeman, which I really liked, and the action was really well done. At number 6 is Superman. I am just like the rest of you who loves the Superman movies, but for this one, it's with David Cornsworth, and I really loved this movie because it has awesome action scenes and a really great story. At number 5 is Wolfman. This movie is based on a true story, so that's which is pretty scary to experience that. But for my general thoughts of Wolfman, it had a really great story of what it was trying to get at, and he's like half a good guy, half a bad guy. That's like Black Adam. At number 4 is the new Mission Impossible. I really loved the action in this movie because for all the Mission Impossible movies, all the action scenes was actually was really well done, and also Tom Cruise has actually did these stunt work during this series, which I absolutely love to have that thrilling feeling about that. At number 3 is F1. For F1, it had a really great story as well, and it had some really outstanding action during this movie, and when that died down for the moment, it was really great storytelling. At number 2 is Weapons. I really loved the movie Weapons because this one is a horror movie. But besides that, it had a really great perspective going to multiple storylines throughout this entire movie. I really liked how they were editing that back and forth. And number 1 is Wicked for Good. For Wicked for Good, it had some really beautiful moments as well, and really heartfelt performances from the Wicked Witch and Ariana Grande. And it also has some really awesome action scenes in this movie as well. But there is one negative thing. If there is one, or there are two negative things I do want to talk to you guys about. Even though it is my number on top at number one, it does have its flaws. The first flaw is how the Tin Men in this movie went way too far. I prefer the original Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. And the second thing is which is like at the end of the movie, where it left me confused. Because it reminded me that there might be a part 3. I'm not 100% sure they're going to make a third part for Wicked, but I just had that feeling where I was confused at the end of the movie. And this has been my top 10 movies of the year. If you guys want me to continue doing this, you guys will need to remind me in December, halfway through December. Until then, if you are not following your dreams, then what the heck are you doing?